How's it going, everyone? Texas Man here, back with another video. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day. If you guys would please give this video a thumbs up if you guys do enjoy it. Subscribe, of course, if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, make sure you guys hit that bell notification button. Select all for all notifications so you guys don't miss out on future content here on the channel. We're going to be talking about something that I'm sure is something that you've probably heard me talk about here on the channel before, but I think here in mid-2025, this is something that is extremely relevant to talk about and discuss. Now, you may agree or disagree with everything I'm about to say in this video, but based on, clearly, the topic of the video, have we hit a cultural dead end? I wanted to talk about that more in depth. You guys know, if you guys have been long-term subscribers of my channel, and you've watched some of my past videos, you guys know for a fact most prequels, sequels, live-action remakes, rebooting a franchise, porting over something from animation into live-action, just all this stuff that Hollywood is making, most of it is not exciting. And that equals into something that I've talked about where we have what is the death of originality. We don't get original movies. We don't get films with new, fresh, innovative, interesting, mind-blowing, thought-provoking, good battle between good and evil. Everything is this morally gray, neutral, okay, I'm a good guy doing a bad thing, or I'm just a bad guy that's misunderstood. That's not good writing. And another thing that I think is a problem with current culture is, when is the last time a movie, a TV show, a video game, a board game, or an artist / band was culturally, not just here in the States, but culturally as a world, loved and thought everyone was able to rally behind it? Whatever it was, what is it that we have been able to rally behind in terms of entertainment and say, this is awesome, you have to see it if you haven't? Where is that cultural phenomenon? Because I don't think we've had that in about 15 years. There used to be in movies in the 80s, in the 90s, early 2000s, and then some in the early 2010s, but I'd say in about the last 15 years, at the time of recording this video, it is early July 2025, in about 15 years, we really haven't had a movie that's like, everyone's like, oh, you have to go see this. This is like so amazing. Okay? We really haven't had that. And we really, as a culture, need something like that. I honestly thought Dune and Dune Part 2 was going to be that. I like the current Dune movies. There are friends and family of mine that have watched them, and they're like, I think they're boring. And I tell them, well, yeah, maybe it's because you're so used to having eye candy thrown at you. And what I mean by eye candy is I mean constant CGI fest, constant green screen, constant action, explosions, people shooting at each other, constant running gun. There's always momentum going. You know, it is good to have a movie that can balance drama, slow-paced character development, and then have big bombastic action sequences. Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope is a perfect example of that. Okay? And I think people forget about that. Another thing that kind of prompted me to make this video is that today we got the first trailer for the reboot of the upcoming The Running Man. Now, I have nothing against them trying to make a movie that is more closely in line with the Stephen King book. I have no problem with that. The problem I have with it, though, is that why are we getting it now? Why are we getting it now? Like, it just feeds into the whole rebooting a franchise or retelling the exact same story that most people have already seen. Okay? I pretty much thought the original with Arnold Schwarzenegger was good. It wasn't mind-boggling. It was basically Hunger Games R, or R-rated. But for what it was and for the time it came out, I thought it was fine. But I don't care about seeing this new version. I just don't care. I don't care. And I think as a culture, we have lost good original ideas. And, I just posted my review of F1, and I stated in that video, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to slightly spoil it for you, but I stated in that video that, and you should watch it, that, the plot, the characters, everything in it, it's not original whatsoever. Yeah, it looks pretty, it sounds good, the soundtrack is probably the best part of the film, but the story you've seen 100 times. And let's be honest, Jurassic World Rebirth, I keep wanting to call it just Jurassic Park 7. It's easier to say. But, it's Jurassic Park 7, okay? There's only so much you can do with dinosaurs on an island, and humans have to go there for some reason. Superman, we've had hundreds of those, it feels like, whether that's live action or animated. Everyone knows that character. Fantastic Four, we've had 3 of those. 1 was good, 2 are garbage. And this version looks to be more of the MCU, not the MCU. And I'm not excited for that. Tron Ares, as much as I love Tron Legacy, it's a sequel. Avatar 3, 4, and 5 have already been confirmed, and it has also been stated by James Cameron recently that Avatar 5 will be the final movie in the franchise. Everything that's big and profile-y, they're sequels, they're prequels, they're live-action remakes, they're reboots of franchises. And in the past couple of years, some of the biggest movies that have made $1 billion are things like Toy Story. We got Toy Story 5 coming out soon. We've got Zootopia 2 coming out later this year. Inside Out 2, I think, came out last year. I think it was last year. Or the year before. I don't remember the year it came out. But I know it's been recent. But Inside Out 2 made $1 billion, and that's a sequel. I don't think it's the best movie. I prefer the first one over the second, just in terms of its originality. And the second one kind of didn't have as much. But you see my problem? We as a culture don't have anything new and interesting. You can look at Star Wars. Look at the old Star Wars under George Lucas. Look under the current Star Wars era stuff besides Andor Season 2, Rogue One, and Mandalorian Season 1 and 2. Everything else, Star Wars, basically has been either mediocre or just utter dog shit. Star Trek, everything after Star Trek Enterprise has been dog shit. Nobody... I can't talk to a single person, friend, family, or coworker, and be like, hey, did you watch the latest episode of Discovery? Wasn't that awesome? Or, hey, wasn't that awesome? Wasn't that episode of Strange New Worlds awesome? No! You'll never ever talk to a normal human being with a brain inside of their skull and them say, current Star Trek, current Star Wars is 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, good stuff. You can't get that from everybody on a regular basis. Now, if you talk to people about Star Wars when it comes to the prequel trilogy or the original trilogy, Clone Wars and Rebels shows, now you can have a educated conversation. And yeah, not everything in all those Star Wars things are, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, but most of them are, 8 out of 10. They're not 3 out of 10. Star Trek, the original series, Enterprise, TNG, DS9, and Voyager are some of the best, not just sci-fi storytelling, but some of the best storytelling and characters I've ever seen before. And we don't have that. This current generation for the past 15 years, they don't have anything to call their own. Think about that for a moment. Even like a band like Imagine Dragons, it's basically 5 genres smashed into one. Okay? They just combined a bunch of stuff, mixed it together, came up with something sounding new, and now they're famous. And don't get me wrong, I like Imagine Dragons. But you have to admit, their music isn't the most original stuff out there. Okay? It's not. It's a combination of a bunch of different things. You got rock, you got some electro, you got some hip hop, okay? Got a little bit of jazz, you got a little bit of rap in there. Smash it all together, you have Imagine Dragons. Okay? We don't have anything new and fresh and innovative. I mean, as much as I like playing Destiny 2, I mean, the game's been out, the franchise is 11 years old. It's 11 years old. Think about that, okay? I remember playing the alpha for Destiny 1. That's how old I am. When that came out in 2014. Just like, we need new original stuff. And this current generation, they don't have anything to call their own. And we have, in my opinion, we have hit a cultural dead end. And even technology-wise, like, how we can't really advance all that much. There's nothing new technological coming out. Like, you can look at the iPhone series. Every new iPhone that comes out, it is either one thing gets removed so something else can be upgraded. We can't just upgrade everything anymore. We can't do that anymore. There's only so much stuff you can do with technology. You know, that's why like DVD and Blu-ray is still good. 4K has its problems right now, and they want us to push us to 8K. And I've seen 8K TV. One, it's too dang expensive. And two, yeah, it looks slightly better than a 4K, but like if you compare like a 1080p / Blu-ray system TV to a 4K, you can clearly tell the difference. But a 4K to an 8K, I can't really tell the difference. And yes, I wear my glasses when I'm doing so. Yeah, we need something fresh and innovative, which is why a lot of movies that I praise is because of their originality. I think the most recent movie that I have seen that was, you know, kind of original in its own way was The Last Rodeo by Angel Studios. I like what they do. Most of their movies and shows that they make, they're original. Most. So it is becoming hard to find those diamonds in the rough. But if you can find them and enjoy them, do so. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree on anything I've said in this video down in the comment section down below. And please let it be an adult conversation and not something that is filled with toxic baby talk. Have a good one. Peace out.